I'm 25 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. I've always kind of really wanted a relationship, but it's just never gone that way. And at this point, I give up because our age group is a fucking mess. We don't know what we want because every 2 seconds we'll change our mind. First of all, we might think, oh, I want to be single. I want to focus on me. I don't want to be dating anyone. But yeah, I'll go on a few dates with you and I'll say that I really, really like you and then we'll connect. But then the second that I actually start to get vulnerable, you'll think, oh, no. I don't want anything serious. I want to be on my own. I want to be able to get with whoever I want to get with at any point in time. Because what if someone better comes along than you? What if I like someone more than you? Even though I don't know anyone else who I like more than you right now, I don't want to commit to you. Except, no, I do want to commit to you. Let's commit to each other for a while. I do want a girlfriend. I do want a boyfriend. But do I? Do you know what? It's too much to fucking keep up with. I can't be bothered with it. At this point, just take everything one thing at a time. Do you like the person? Yes or no? Do you want to see them again? Yes or no? We'll do it together. We'll see how it goes. Keep me updated.
No.
Well, it sounds to me like you went ahead and had a bunch of situationships with a bunch of dudes out of your league, and it sounds to me like you heard all of the excuses. I'm not looking for a relationship, I'm not ready for a relationship, or my personal favorite, what the hell are you doing in my bed, lady? Get out before I call the cops on you for breaking and entering, and no, you can't have an iced coffee from my refrigerator, but you can help yourself to an ice cold get the hell out of my apartment. That one you've probably heard the most, and you're going to hear that one a lot because nobody's going to listen to what you have to say. The rules for pair bonding have changed by you and your actions, and now you live with the consequences. So good luck with that old boyfriend thing, sister. You're gonna need it.
Good luck.
It is not a male loneliness epidemic, it is a male consequences epidemic. The men are suffering from the consequences of their own action and blaming women for being lonely. You know what? There's this funny thing that this guy, Charles Darwin, came up with. You know, have you ever heard of like natural selection? Like you're not being selected for a reason, but you're blaming us. You're the one not being selected because of your behavior, because of the actions that you are choosing to take, or because you're just fucking lazy and you have nothing to contribute. Women don't find that attractive, and that's not our fault. That's your fault.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
You know, I gotta hand it to you, woman. You edit as if you have epilepsy. And I'm not about to say that I'm the world's greatest editor or anything, but golly gee willikers, lady, you're making me feel like I deserve a trophy for my editing skills by comparison. And if that wasn't enough, you're making me feel like I deserve a plaque for my basic logic skills. From the way I see it, if the proud members of the illustrious bottom 95% club are lazy and have nothing to offer, then you have somehow figured out a way to be able to provide even less than men. The only people talking about the male loneliness epidemic are chicks like you because you need someone to be angry at because the only emotions you allow yourself to feel are negative. And that's because you're bitter and have nothing to offer a self-respecting man. And that's not our fault. Those are the consequences of your actions, sweetheart.
You think we don't want to be with you because you're not handsome, because you're not in shape? Then get off your ass and go to the gym. Women don't want to be with you because you can't provide, even though that is not the most important thing you can give a woman. Let me just make that clear. Money is not the most important thing. But if you're worried about that, then go pick up another job. Women don't want to be with you because you're emotionally abusive. Get your ass in therapy. Hope this helps the confused men out there. It's called natural selection. It's a male consequences epidemic.
You don't know what words mean, do you?
Hey, lady, how did you know it wasn't my birthday? You gotta stop with the presents. You're practically giving me a gold medal in basic biology here. Your nose ring depicts that you're single and you're obviously childless. And if you're not breeding, then guess what's happening? Well, allow me to explain it to you because you've come down with a case of the smooth brains. If you are not breeding, that means you are not strong enough to keep the species propagated. Which means that Charles Darwin has come for you too, Toots. So stop acting like you're the superior one when you're clearly triggered on this. And the only joy that you feel is reveling in the apparent suffering of men. And with the way you're acting, then Darwin would be doing the entire universe a freaking favor if it means not having to deal with your spawn.
It's science. A lot of people my age who are like single are like freaking out because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have like a partner, I don't have kids. The way that I think about this is, one, God's plan. It's always God's plan. But two, if you had kids with one of your ex-boyfriends, that would probably be a disaster because they're an ex for a reason. Thank God. But I'm just saying, don't get caught up in the timelines and all of that, because at the end of the day, you would be better off without having like a baby dad, baby mom. Sorry to those who do. But the way I think about it is, I'm just glad that I didn't end up with the wrong person having a kid, or end up with the wrong person and then having to get a divorce. I promise, God has you. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay, God! Let me have it!
Well, even to a modern woman who found religion and completely contradicts herself, how is it that the man upstairs has a plan for you when you've made it clear that you chose your exes yourself? It's kind of hard for the dude in the sky to help you out when you're actively making the decisions to refuse that help by making every wrong decision possible. It's come to the point where you're now facing the aftermath and it's time for you to pick up the pieces. I mean, let's just face it, even if the bro in the clouds even did try to help you out, you'd still figure out a way to screw it up. You'd either shame him for not being the man that you want to the point where you'll leave him, or he'll leave you when you nag him to change so he can fix you. And you brought all of this on yourself, woman. That's the virtue of free will, so deal with it.
Amen.
If a girl keeps looking at you, just know this. You've either spilled mustard on your shirt, or more likely, she finds you attractive. Now listen, a woman will not approach you. Instead, she will use eye contact to let you know you should approach her. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to walk over with confidence and simply say this. Hi, I don't think we've met. What's your name?
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
Lady, we've also been told that if a girl keeps looking at us, it means that she's creeped out and thinks we're either going to end her life or make her an extra in yet another sequel to the movie Saw. We've been told that we are never to approach even when she's looking at us, and at the same time, we're also shamed for not taking the risk of complete and utter ruination by approaching you. So the solution is simple. If a woman finds a dude attractive, then she can always approach him so he knows that she's not trying to get him tased. But for some reason, that's too big of an ask, and men just need to man up and take the gamble just so modern women can get away with doing absolutely nothing. Oh, sorry, sister, we know better. The social climate has changed at the behest of modern women, and with that change comes consequences. So in order to adapt, women are going to have to start approaching men. Or in other words, humanity is just completely and utterly screwed.
That's funny because it's so true.
You know, I consider myself to be fairly evolved, but even the best of us have moments of misogyny, so I want to share my latest. So recently I started dating again, which has been hysterical, to be honest with you. But I went out on a date with a man, and this is the first time I've taken up quite a break off. And so this is the first time that I've actually like opened my options up to considering men with children, which I don't know that I'm going to continue any longer after this. But I ended up going on a date with this guy, and towards the end of the date, he started sharing me the story of how his daughter came to be and how, you know, this woman became the mother of his child, essentially. And as he was telling me this story, my immediate knee-jerk reaction was to immediately think, dear God, like, new fear unlocked, right?
Oh, come on! Am I the only one who finds it hilariously offensive that modern women refer to themselves as evolved? It just reeks of entitlement and delusion. It implies that the rest of us are still somehow living in caves and afraid of fire. And I find that kind of insulting. My vacation home is in a cave because it's convenient and I don't have to pay for rent there. And I'm only afraid of fire because I don't like the idea of my really cool space duster being set ablaze. Well, that and I think fire is magical, but I digress. It's kind of funny how these women will say some of the dumbest things imaginable and say that they're still more evolved than the rest of us. I mean, take this broad, for example. She says that she's evolved, but she also immediately assumes that the mother of the dude's children that she's dating is the victim of his evil nature. She even tunes out what this guy is saying and just automatically paints him as the bad guy. And yet somehow, through the magic of fire, she's somehow the victim in this situation. I mean, you can't make this crap up.
Because I think that my life sucks sometimes, but I could be the father of that girl or that woman that he knocked up, right? I could be the father of the mother of his child. And I can't imagine that amount of rage for some man disrespecting my little girl that way, right? But my immediate knee-jerk reaction was to think, dear God, I'm so glad I'm not her father. But really and truly, thank God I'm not her mother, right? Oh my fucking God. So yeah, new fear unlocked. Not only my womb, but then if I have children, what potentially happens to them in the future, right? Oh my God. I'm so glad I don't have children. That's all I can say right now.
I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
Oh, trust me, sister, the feeling is mutual. The idea of you being a mother is punishment enough for those imaginary kids. Those poor bastards would be raised up to think that all men are evil and terrifying, that every woman is innocent of any form of wrongdoing regardless of the context, which means that your boys would be raised to be weak little simps, and your daughters will grow up spoiled and arrogant. Meanwhile, that single dad is doing the best that he can, and those kids have a better chance of being well-rounded members of society thanks to his parenting. If anything, I'd be terrified of any man being the father of your children, because that man is going to be put through all kinds of hell with a woman who's convinced that she's more evolved than everybody else on the face of the freaking planet. And no man deserves that kind of torture, especially from someone as primitive and ignorant as you, sweetheart.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
Those friends that are like, I let my man do whatever. I want him to enjoy his life, you know, live life without me and have fun with his friends. Not me, bitch. You're not having fun without me, okay?
Run away! Run away! You know, there's no easy way to put this, sister, but you're about as fun as getting a root canal during a meeting with the CPA to discuss a tax audit while being forced to watch the Twilight series back to back, all while Kenny G is playing non-stop on the intercom. And I'm fairly certain that what you're proposing was outlawed by the Geneva Convention because it sounds like a massive war crime. And I can't vouch for anybody else, but I think it's safe to say that none of us are interested in any form of fun with you, especially since I'm fairly confident that you wouldn't be able to hold your own in a tactical Nerf blaster fight over at Skeeter's house. But I'm willing to trust every single fine member of the bounty board over on Patreon, because I know they'll have my back if somebody tries to flank me with a fully automatic blaster. And something tells me that every single one of you knows their way around a Nerf blaster, or they will go down fighting to figure it out. And either way, I salute you for it. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the bounty board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment down below for you.
So you know that Facebook page, Are We Dating the Same Guy? So 2 guys I dated were just posted on there. And the crazy thing to me is, you know how men are always like, who are you hanging out with? Who are these guys? These aren't real men. Not all men. So I just want to share this because both of these guys were men in their 40s. One of them a marine biologist, smart, parents lawyers, seemed a decent guy, had a dog. Other one a stuntman, which that's a little bit of a red flag. Worked at movies, had been divorced, and I won't go into my experience with these guys, but what was posted about both of them is the marine biologist got somebody pregnant and claimed wanted a family with this woman. Whole spiel, made up all kinds of crazy stories now, completely denies basically the baby.
And
Alright, woman, I'll play along. Even though it's pretty much common knowledge that the whole Are We Dating the Same Guy page is filled with vindictive broads who have no problem shaming a dude online, but we'll just go ahead and pretend that we're in a fantasy world where magic pixie fairies make everyone dumb to the point where you're considered mildly attractive. Now let's go ahead and pretend that we're being honest and this guy got a girl pregnant and refuses to take any responsibility. I have 2 questions for you. The first is, what business of that is yours? And second, who freaking cares? And finally, how How does this prove that all men are worthless? You're mocking the dudes who say not all men, and your first example is one man. And the last time I checked, which is sadly more often than I'd like, the world's population of men is slightly larger than one guy. So even with all of that in your favor, you've still proven pretty much nothing.
And is acting, wants no part, no responsibility, nothing. And is going around hooking up with young girls. Both these men are like 40, in their 40s, and lying to them, telling them one day he might want a family, that he's single, lying to his family that he, has a baby coming. Other guy left his kid, who is like teen, never talks to his kid, had cheated on his ex-wife multiple times, which he lied about, and has been hooking up with tons of young girls in their 20s and lying to them and manipulating them, and then leaving a trail of women that are confused because he lies. 2 guys. Scary out there.
What?
All right, here we go. No, woman, you do not get to do that. These men in their 40s are not hooking up with young girls. That is disgusting. They are hooking up with young women, and you are a disgusting, horrible garbage human for trying to imply otherwise. And you do it not because you care about these women. You do it because you're bitter that these men are not choosing you. That's why you waste all of your time digging into the infidelities of some random dudes that you barely associate with, if even at all. Now, even if what you're saying is true, so what? There's plenty of men who are dicks out there. Nobody's disputing that. But that doesn't mean you can just tell us all that we're evil because of some asshole that cheated on his wife. You just want to lump all men into a category because you can't handle the fact that you decided to completely screw up your own life of your own volition. And instead of trying to reflect on a life that you clearly wasted, you're going to accuse men of one of the most horrific crimes imaginable just to make yourself feel better. But don't blame us, woman. It's not our fault that you're a complete waste. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.